Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and I'm going to say some of my favorite words that I ever get to say to you. We're talking about new Fantasy Cosmetica makeup today. I have been a Fantasy Cosmetica stan since their very first palette. The Druid palette was their first release. It was my best palette of the year that year, and I have pretty much just been enthralled with everything they've done ever since. They have such a unique storytelling ability that is paired with an incredibly high bar for quality. So it's very exciting every time we get new products from them, particularly when we're getting new types of products, which we have today, because we have brushes that are launching with this Cradled in Ice collection. Everything will be available on the Fantasy Cosmetica site on May 16th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you check your time zones. You can use affiliate codes on anything in this collection. I'm an affiliate with the brand. I have a coupon code. It's just my first name, Amanda, and that will save you 10% on most items on their site. Starting on the 16th, the Cradled in Ice collection will be available. That includes a whole bunch of brushes. There are 10 new brushes, 6 eye brushes, 4 face brushes. We're going to get into those. I'm going to show you close-ups, all of the details, and I'm also going to use almost all of the brushes for my tutorial today. Plus, we have this Cradled in Ice palette. This is their first 12-pan palette. This 10 to 12 eyeshadow size is really my ideal palette size. Gorgeous dragon artwork on the front. Of course, we're going to do a close-up look at this palette. We're going to do swatches. I'm wearing a bunch of the shades on my eyes today. There are also a few single shadows here. So the palette shades are always sold as singles, and these are magnetic. I love that. Another thing to love about Fantasy Cosmetica, but there are some additional singles in this collection as well. The cutest little dragon egg packaging. Their attention to detail is just insane. I mean, this is the little single shadow sleeve that comes in here. These are the 4 single shadows. They are all the holochromes. So this is the same type of shadows that we saw with the Lost Library collection. I was deeply obsessed with the Lost Library collection, so I'm excited to see that sort of universe expanding in the Fantasy Cosmetica world. According to the info that they sent along with this PR package, there will also be some gel multi-chromes. They didn't have those available to send in their PR package just yet, but there are 2 gel multi-chrome dragon scales, and those will be $19.99 each, or you can get the set of 2 for $36.99. I just don't have those on hand yet. However, I do have everything else, so we're gonna look close up. I'll give you all the info I have, including prices, my initial thoughts on all of these products, and you'll be able to find a lot of that information down in the description box too, so definitely check down there for more info. But I'm going to try to be really thorough in this video. I'm so excited. I'm sure you can tell. I just always love to see what they're going to do next. Let's start by talking about the brushes, then we'll move over to the eyeshadows, and I'll show you all of these products in action as well. First, we're looking at the 4 face brushes. These are very aptly named FO1, FO2, FO3, FO4. And these all have different prices. You can buy the face brush 4-pack for $86.99, or you can buy these brushes individually. The FO1 will be $19.99, FO2 and FO3 will be priced at $24.99, and then the FO4 will be priced at $29.99. All of these brushes are completely cruelty-free and vegan, so they have synthetic bristles, and they all have this gorgeous dark blue color with the silver Fantasy Cosmetica branding, and a really, really cute little mountain scene with a dragon flying over. Incredibly on brand for Fantasy Cosmetica. And they're just super pretty and a standout for sure among my pretty extensive brush collection. Next, we have some eye brushes. You can get the eye brush 6 pack for $59.99, or you can get all 10 brushes together if you know you want all of these for a bundle price of $135.99. Now, the individual brushes here also have separate prices. So EO1 is $8.99, EO2 and EO3 are $10.99, EO4 and EO5 are $12.99, and the EO6 is $11.99. I know it just gave you so many letters and numbers, so I'm gonna write all of the brush prices down in the description box so you can reference back there. Now I want to show you these brushes in action. First, I'm going to take a little bit of this ColourPop Hypnosis cream blush from their recent Pokemon collection, and I tapped that onto my cheeks with my fingertip, and now I'm going to blend it out using the F01 brush. I wasn't sure how this would work because these bristles are pretty soft and flexible. They're not very hard, very dense, and I wasn't sure if this would work moving a cream product around, but it actually gave me the most beautiful diffused blend. So I was really happy with the results there. Now I'm going to use this big fluffy F04 brush to powder. So I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural all over the face just to lightly set. It is quite warm and humid here already. So even this dry face needs some powder. I did want to try to use as many brushes as possible, so I'm going to use this F02, which is a long, very flexible tapered brush to put a little bit of baked blush on top of the cream blush. You know, why not? More blush is always better in my opinion. And then I'm going to use this fan brush. This is the F03, and I'm going to apply just a little tiny bit of this Hourglass bronzer to warm up the face a bit. Overall, I like the performance of the face brushes. They're super soft and luxurious feeling, and I hope to see some more face brushes added to the line with a little bit more density so that I can do things like blend out my foundation and cream face products a little bit more. But as far as these initial 4 face brushes go, I'm really happy with the performance, with the luxurious feeling of the actual brushes themselves. And the same applies to the eye brushes. This EO5 is a nice large blending type of brush for me. The softness of these brushes combined with the silky pigmentation, particularly of these matte shades in the Cradled and Ice palette, just works so well to diffuse and blend the shadows once they were applied to my eyelid. All in all, I feel like the brushes and the palette are a match made in heaven. They worked stunningly well for me. I think the colors from the shadows stayed true to the shade once it was applied to the eye, especially once you start layering and blending and putting things like eye base in the mix. Sometimes you can lose the true color or you can get muddled and muddy looking, and these shadows just really didn't go that way for me. I was kind of nervous about these brighter, more pastel-y type of shades because those typically are a little underwhelming in my experience, in my opinion. And this pink is so pretty. I'm not even a pink eyeshadow lover, and I love the way that this looks. Once it was packed on and layered on, it had such an impact and softness at the same time. Overall, I'm just incredibly impressed all around with this collection. I know I've become more of a blue girly over the past year or so, but pink and blue are 2 eyeshadow colors that I don't typically gravitate towards. So the fact that I have enjoyed so many of my eye looks and really just had such success with this palette, I think speaks volumes, not only to the curation of the shades, but just how beautifully these formulas perform. I am interested in doing some more eye looks with this palette. If that's something that you think you would want to see, let me know in the comments. My tutorial straight eye look videos don't tend to perform very well on my channel, which is understandable. I'm not an incredibly avant-garde eyeshadow type of gal, so I get it. But I do like to show things multiple times on my channel. I'm wearing them off camera, so I like to show that experience on camera too, especially for my monthly rankings. So let me know if you want to see some more with this palette or maybe some palette combos with this one included, because I think that could be really fun. Overall, I love everything. I do have some favorites. There are a couple of brushes that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on that are my top of the top favorites. But in general, my number one pick from this collection is going to be the Cradled and Ice palette. The singles are beautiful, all the brushes are great, but this palette just really calls to me and has just been above and beyond formula wise in my experience. So the Cradled and Ice palette is by far my favorite thing. These little holochrome singles are, of course, stunning. Even if you just see one shade here that you think would be your favorite or would really lend to your collection, then I think it would be worthwhile to add into your purchase. These are a little bit more expensive. They're $14.99 each, which for a special shade like this is what we expect to see from these super high quality indie brands. There will also be a 4-pack available if you want all four of these shades, and that will be $54.99. Don't forget that you will be able to use coupon codes on any of these things. So I know they are pricey, they are really, really special. So I want to make sure that I show you as much info as I can so that you're making really good purchasing decisions that you're going to be super happy with. I can imagine Nami and Frederick working so gorgeously with this Cradled in Ice palette, or even with some of the other previous palettes that came out, like Wizard or Sorcerer. And Boreas and Aya are going to be absolutely perfectly paired with my beloved Druid palette. So that's how I see these working in my collection. Like I said, I wanted to show you a lot of info, so these holochromes absolutely need to be viewed with flash and motion lighting so you can really show off that rainbow holographic glitter sparkle that runs throughout these beautiful shadows. And these are really, really fine glitter particles, so they're not those big chunky glitters that I am personally not a huge fan of. Let's move on to what I believe is the star of the show here. The brushes are exciting because they're new, but this Cradled in Ice palette is just so gorgeous. The artwork is stunning. We have this little mommy dragon snuggling the baby eggs in this icy cave. All of the ingredients are listed on the back. This is cruelty free. The artwork is unmatched. I love it. It's a little bit of a different vibe from some of their previous palettes, and they do such a great job of keeping me interested, keeping me on my toes, keeping me coming back for more. So I love the artwork on this palette, and the palette itself does seem to have two sides. We have two columns that make up a little blue six-pan palette, and then two columns that make up a more pinky mauvey six-pan palette. Of course, you absolutely can mix and match these colors undertone wise, work really nicely together. I love the layout. It's very pleasing to the eye, and I think that it will make the palette incredibly user friendly. But you can always switch it up and mix it up too. I did swatch it in these two six-pan divisions just because I think that it looks really pretty that way and my eyeballs like to look at it that way. We have an almost even split of mattes and shimmers, a little bit more matte heavy. There are 7 matte shades and 5 shimmers. Quite a few of these shimmer shades do have a little shift or flip to them, so they feel very special, very glacial, very dragon scales. I love to see it. I like these silvery leaning shimmers in the more blue half of the palette. And then, of course, I'm a sucker for purple. This shade Embrace is definitely my favorite one in the palette. This is such a lovely pinky, purpley, mauvey, little curated portion of the palette as well. I could not be happier with the way that these swatches look. The brush swatches are absolutely smooth, silky, pigmented, stunning. And since I showed you the flash in motion swatches for the singles, I figured I might as well show you for the palette, even though this doesn't really do much for how matte this palette is. The shimmery shades in here are just absolutely breathtaking. So, I will take any excuse to look at more shiny, shiny things. And I have a feeling that you will agree with me on that. This color right here, it's matching my nails in the best way. I love this really, really dark, super, super dark purpley brown. This is gorgeous. This will be great for my little faux liner that I like to do. This purple shade is just, I see this quad being a great everyday, smoky everyday type of look for me. The mattes in here are just like butter. The shimmers are so bright and intense and gorgeous. I really, performance-wise, have not one bad thing to say about this palette. I really love these holochrome shadows. I went gaga for this formula in the Lost Library collection. Nothing has changed there. I just think everything is so nice. So nice. All the eyeshadows are beautiful. If I had to choose favorites, I would say for the eye brushes, I like 1, 2, and 3. These are the smaller brushes, and I think that they fit my lid space better. I love a brush like this because I really like to do a shimmer on the lower lash line right here. So I need a nice, fine, flat brush, and this is perfect for that detail. These two are a lot more straightforward and not as specialized in use, but I like a really tiny blending brush to get that transition area nice and smooth. This just packs on color beautifully. So this is really my dream team as far as the eye brushes go. For the face brushes, I think my favorites are 1 and 4. This is a really nice, versatile little precision face color brush. You could do bronzer, blush, highlighter, contour. I even blended out my cream blush with this. So this is a great all-around brush. And this Big Daddy powder brush, I love a big giant powder brush. I'm not a precision powderer. I just kind of go in and just go ham. This is going to be great for that. This is just going to be a really easy staple type of brush for me, especially this summer when I have to powder my face more because I live in a hot, humid climate where I sweat a lot. That's it for this Cradled in Ice collection. I would love to hear what you think about these products. Are you planning on adding any of these to your wish list? Are you going to pick anything up? Make sure you use my affiliate code Amanda at checkout if you decide to purchase anything. And I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! That's that. Oh, I almost just dropped all the eyeshadow. Oh, I would punch myself if I did that. That's a wrap, girl. Don't even get me started on that. Anyway, she's cute. Hmm? What am I? It would be a miracle if I could make sense on the first try. Unfortunately, it's not my style. This really bright pink matte on the inner corner, I feel like I'm channeling Angie. She's going to be so proud of me. I'm wearing blue. I'm wearing a bright matte shade on my inner corner. I'm also wearing one of my all-time favorite lip colors, which happens to be the Fantasy Cosmetica lip oil in the shade Ancient One. Remember that Rihanna meme we have no choice but to stan. That's how I feel. Just a subtle eye look, just a subtle bright pink and navy blue duochrome eye look. Do you know what I mean? Ooh. I just don't know how to use this one for my eye. I feel like this is giving nose contour vibes. This would be if that's something you do. I don't contour my own face ever because I think probably I just don't know how, and also I'm lazy. But if you do know how, I feel like this would be a good little nose contour, a little like nose highlight. It's an interesting brush. I've never seen a brush like this before, I can tell you that. This thing is huge. Like, look at this compared to my face. If I just went like boom, 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 I could powder my whole face in one go. This thing is beefy. It's substantial. I like it. I filmed my first ever styling thrifted finds video and I'm editing it now. I'm really nervous because it's so different for me, but I have become kind of like a thrift shopping queen lately. I'm obsessed with this channel, Kathleen Illustrated. Binge watching her videos and rewatching her videos also coincided with me going thrift shopping with Kelly Gooch. So it's sort of been this perfect storm. And I have found a lot of major scores when I've been thrift shopping. So I don't know. Hopefully everybody actually decently enjoys those videos because I want to make more because it's really fun. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm cut out for the fashion girly life. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, people really liked my styling, my 90s Pinterest inspo outfit video. So who knows? Maybe I'll become a thrift queen now. Travel the world, reinvent yourself, be a gremlin. Why not? On that note, I love your face and I will see you real soon. And you're the best. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.